Whoa, scam, scam, scam. Ooh, dumb nigga.
Where your movie at, Thomas? Where your Fatherless America movie? Tariq that came out with in Hidden Colors, in Living Colors, Hidden Colors 1, 2, 3, 4, and he about to make a 5. Nigga, where your Fatherless America video?
I thought you just said.
How in the hell can people who rock with Tommy be so naive and be so stupid?
You just said I shouldn't be comparing
Where that video at? Where that video? Where that 14-minute video? Fatherless America. They don't give you all that goddamn money. Where that video at, Tommy?
You hear the word you just said? You said they.
Tommy, I don't care how you feel about it, honey.
And there's still no movie, and he still have no explanation of what's happened to the movie. And people are asking for their money back. And he's playing games with that. Tommy is a scammer. And this right here alone proves that he's a scammer. When you sit here and you keep telling people that a movie is coming out and it never comes out, what do you call that? A scam.
Tommy, I donated to the Fatherless America. Thank you for scamming me. I donated.
I'm getting my scam on.
But you know what? Sotonation is so stupid that they try to justify it by saying, oh, we just gave you that money. We don't expect nothing for it. We just gave it to you. Do what you want to do with it. That's how stupid Sotonation is. But as for Fatherless America, it was a scam. You would not tell a person 5 or 6 times over 2 or 3 years that a movie is coming out, and it never comes out unless it was a scam. A scam. And Tommy don't care because Sotonation don't care. And the people who donated their money don't care. So that's why he don't give no explanations about the movie.
I'm okay with him scamming me. He can scam me. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it.
Same question, got the answer, and just kept asking it like she was incredulous to hearing what she asked.
Where is the movie? Is it in production? Is it in production right now?
I just told you earlier.
Tommy, where is it? Where's the movie at, motherfucker? Where's that movie?
Y'all hear how
Where's that movie, Tommy? Where is the motherfucking movie? No. You trying to talk over me. You trying to say something. Where is the
Okay, so why would you keep talking?
I just want you to tell us, where is the motherfucking movie?
I just told you.
Tell us. Are you going to make it or not?
I just told you. My God. Do you not like
No, you said.
If it wasn't a scam, he would prove it by releasing the movie.
Ooh, dumb nigga. Tommy pulled a scam on me. Alright, you know what time it is. Once again, as usual, time's right about that time. Note to self, time already, motherfucking. If you don't know, well, now you know, bitch. Straight into it. Let's do this shit. This video that I'm making is about the long-awaited and long overdue documentary film of Tommy's called The Fatherless America. Tommy Sotomayor just recently on Father's Day released his documentary on The Fatherless America, and in this video I'm just going to be giving my sort of insight and my review of, you know, the movie that I just watched, and, you know, I'll try to be able to, you know, give my insight and just my overall review of how I felt the movie went, and I'll try my best, if possible, to not give too many spoilers, you know. And I encourage all of the people of Sotonation, if you haven't bought the film, you know, please buy the movie. You know, it's about an hour and 25 minutes, but, you know, if you haven't got your hands on it, you know, please, you know, buy it, you know, and, you know, just let me know what you think about the movie in the comment section below. Now, moving on, how do I feel about Tommy Sotomayor releasing the film? I feel as though him releasing the film, I feel like it was right on time. My thing is, I always told him, or like I was always in the comment section saying, man, you know, if the Fatherless America is going to be released, it would be best for you to release it on Father's Day, because, you know, Fatherless America, Father's Day, shit like that. Because I was always, that's the thing, you know. I think at first he was saying like he was going to release it on his birthday. I'm like, man, it would be better if you do it on Father's Day. So he definitely made the right move releasing it on Father's Day. It was a very strategic, and very well thought out move on his part to release it on Father's Day, because I was rooting for him to do it on Father's Day, and he did just that. So that's very good on his part. However, like the release of the movie was well planned, well thought out. I like that part of what he did. Let's see, the movie in general. What do I think of the movie? Well, like, in my honest opinion, I think the movie, and I'm not just saying this because I'm a Tommy fan, but what I'm saying is, like, the movie was really, it was good. The movie was good. It was a very good documentary. It focused a lot on the issues of fatherhood, how fatherhood is being marginalized, the importance of fatherhood, and how you would have certain entities, internally and externally, trying to rid not only fatherhood but masculinity as well. So, I mean, I feel as though it was a very good, topic to touch on in that regard. However, I just feel as though, okay, yeah. You know what? First of all, hold on. You know what I think? I think I'm gonna. You know what? Let me run down the things that I like about the movie, and let me run down the things that I dislike about the movie. So my thing is, the movie was a good movie. I liked it. It was very insightful. I bought it on Father's Day. I bought it for my dad as a gift. And I'm pretty sure that if I, show the video to my father, he's gonna appreciate it as well if he watches the whole entire video. The thing is, I'm not going to say that it's now granted it was a good documentary, but I'm not gonna lie and say it was the best thing I've ever seen. Or I'm not going to say that it was just really good. Like, I'm not gonna give it like a 10 out of 10 rating. It's no 10 out of 10. But it is a good movie, and it does a brief overview of a lot of the things that he talks about on his show. The movie was very different from his talk shows. I just feel as though he should have had more. How do I say this? Like, okay, first of all, let's talk about the things that I felt that he did good. The releasing of the Fatherless America on Father's Day, very good, very ironic. Very sort of, I like how he made that sort of a line. The way he released it on Father's Day, the release date was very good. I like that. Now, the part of the movie that I liked, let's see. I like how, first of all, the movie was filmed in great quality. It was in 4K. So it was a very high quality sort of movie. So it was filmed in 4K, very good quality. He definitely put a lot of elbow grease in terms of structuring the movie. I like the people that he brought on the movie. My favorite, I like how my favorite part in the movie was, I like Rosebud's part. I believe Rosebud's part should have been a little bit longer. I like Rosebud's part. And then I also like, like how he had Tammy Roman in the movie. I like, that was my favorite part. That was also a good part of the movie. Another good part of the movie was let's see. Another good part of the movie was I think Tahuti Ma'abra. I liked how he was in the movie, and he was basically going in depth on the child support system and how they try to make the mothers custodials and the fathers non-custodials. They try to they don't, like, he explained. Like, the way he explained it, he was like, okay, the system is set up to cater to women, but they don't say it directly, but they'll try to, like, they would use different types of legal jargon to sort of get around screwing over men in child support court and in divorce court and what have you. And lots of times, the man goes to court unprepared and very ignorant of the fact of how the law works. So that's what lots of times gets the man screwed over. He goes more in depth. They go more in depth talking about the importance of fatherhood and how positive fathers can be in the lives of children, and the negative effects of how, of how the absence of a father can affect the lives of children, and not only sons but daughters as well. You would have certain aspects of the movie to where you had women who they didn't know what to see in a man because the absence of their father. You didn't know how a man should treat you, so then you went out and tried to, they talked about how they tried to look for sort of father figures in other men that they dated, and the men who were raised without a father didn't know how to be a man, or they didn't know how to treat women because of lack of a father. So I like the way they touched on that. I believe I like the way at the end of the movie, I liked how they did touch on the child support system, and there was a lot of statistics, to back up and verify a lot of the facts that he was speaking. And he did touch on the black community, which lets you know that he is down for his people in terms of, him talking about, okay, the state of the black community, how it has fallen, and, the lack of fathers, how it has a negative effect on people, how it has a negative effect on the black community, especially, So the thing is, I liked how Tommy he focused on the attack on masculinity. He focused on the importance of fatherhood in general, but then he also made it imperative to where he made it to where it was more prevalent. He pointed out the fact to where this type of problem that we have of fatherlessness is more prevalent in the black community than in any other community, which is what a lot of people are afraid to say. A lot of these crimes that you see going on is due to single parent households with there being absentee fathers. It's what a lot of people are afraid to say. And if you do say it, then you might end up losing your job or, what have you. So I like how he focused on that. And he did focus on the black community to say, this is what's more prevalent in the black community than anything else. So Tommy didn't dance around the race issue. He didn't dance around the race issue. He didn't dance around, oh, well, this is not just for because I thought that in the movie originally he was just going to talk about fathers and masculinity. I didn't know he was going to, I didn't think he was going to touch that much up on the black community, but he did, which is what I liked. I like the people that he had in the movie. I like Trick Daddy's part. I like that. I like Tammy Roman's part. I liked Rosebud part. What else part do I like? I think Professor Griff was also in the movie as well. Yeah, so anyways, these are the parts about the movie that I really enjoyed. Now, I'm going to talk about the parts of the movie that I did not enjoy. So what you heard was just the pros. Now let me give to you the cons of the movie, of what I did not like. Okay. What I didn't like in the movie is I felt like the movie should have been longer. My thing is, Tommy Sotomayor, he does shows that are like 2-3 hours long, and he has people listening to the whole 3-hour live streams. He's a very entertaining person, and he has no problem with keeping the attention span of his audience to where he reaches a wider demographic of people and they're able to listen to him for hours. So there should be no reason why the movie shouldn't be longer. I wanted the movie to be at least 2 hours, but my thing is we got 1 hour and 25 minutes, which I think sucks. But no, I'm not saying the movie sucks, but I'm saying that I wanted it to be longer. I wanted to see more. You're so good at attracting and keeping people's attention spans. You're so good and charismatic and good at being able to keep an audience to listen to you for hours at a time. So there should be no reason why your movie shouldn't have been 2 or more hours long. People would have listened to you for that long. There should be no reason why you should have made the movie so short, because my thing is I wanted to hear more, but unfortunately I only got an hour and 25 minutes. And my thing is for 5 years, it took you 5 years to make that movie, from 2013 all the way to 2019. 5 years, 5.5 fucking years, and it took you 5.5 years, and all I'm gonna watch out of that movie is 1 hour and 25 minutes of that movie. I felt like you should have made it longer. All right, the movie should have been longer. It should have been more extended, and there was a lot. I felt like when I was watching the movie, there was a lot of points, like there was a lot of clips that could have been extended that wasn't really shown. Like there was a lot of good, like I felt like there was a lot of good footage other good footages that they could have showed, but they had to condense it. Like it felt very condensed. It felt very like there would be one part of there would be some parts of the movie where you would have the people speaking that he was interviewing, and like the parts would cut off at a certain point, and it'd be like, well, I wanted to hear more of what they were saying, you know. So, but yeah, I really wish that the editors could have, you know, I really wish that the editors could have made the movie longer, so then that way the people in the audience would have felt like they got their money's worth. Another problem that I had with the movie, another con that I found with the movie was in the beginning of the movie, I felt like the beginning of the movie was very slow paced. You know, like when the movie started, it was very slow paced, and you know, and it was only in the, I would say, in the about 10-15 minute mark, it's when the movie started picking up gradually, you know. But before, in the beginning, you would have like it just felt like the movie felt very slow paced. It felt like, I don't know, man. Like it felt like in the beginning of the movie, it was taking a long time for the movie to progress, you know. Then in the 10 to 15 second mark, that's when the movie started getting interesting and started picking up, and they started talking about the points. But I felt like, you know, Tommy should have, in the beginning of the movie, I felt like at the beginning of the movie, Tommy should have summarized, you know, the basically gave. I felt like he should have given like a brief summary of, you know, fatherhood and what fatherhood means to him. Then talk about his personal life of him not having a father. Do a brief overview summary of that, kind of like how he does with his monologues on the show, instead of like just starting off with the movie and then it being slow paced from there. But like, that's the thing. It was very slow paced in the beginning. Then it started to pick up gradually, which is what I liked. I liked the middle and the end. But the parts that I didn't like was the beginning. I just felt like it was just too slow in progression for me. Another part that I didn't like about the movie was the simple fact that it was like, okay, you have hours of footage, and I understand that, you know, only a certain amount of clips are going to be in the movie when you edit certain things, but I felt like Tommy was ringing on some really good fucking points, especially in the middle and in the end of the movie. If you see the end of the movie, the shit was that's when Tommy was really killing it. It was fire. But however, I just felt as though, you know, I just felt like it was a lack of organization in terms of his points. Like Tommy was making some really good fucking points, but I just felt like the points were they weren't the points that he was making weren't very organized. There was a lot of disorganization in the points that he was making. Now I could explain what I mean by that. Like for example, right, you would have Tommy hit on a point where he would be talking about feminism, and then it would be a swift transition to another scene of the movie where they're talking about something completely different than what he was talking about. So it would be like, okay, he's talking about the child support system in one instance, then he would be talking about something completely different, which still sort of relates to the importance of fatherhood, but I just wish that the transitions were a lot more organized and more smooth. I'm not saying that he can't hit on several points in the movie, but what I'm saying is like, okay, like if you're gonna talk about feminism, at least talk about feminism, go in depth on your point of feminism. Then after that, you make a smooth transition to your next point. Instead of talking about feminism, then you talk about the attack on masculinity, then talk about the black community, then go back to feminism, then talk about like different other types of things. Like, you know, he was talking about all types of things that he barely scratched it. Like Tommy was scratching the surface of a lot of the points, but I felt like they were all over the place, and it may not have been his fault. It was probably because like the editing, it was like there's only so much that you could do in an hour and 25 minutes, which is why I keep saying the movie should have been longer. Because if the movie was longer, then he would have had more time to be able to focus on those points. Now, see, he doesn't have these problems on his show. On his show, he's better at making the points and going more in depth on that shit, so that way people can be able to understand at least more of what he's talking about. Which, to be honest, it's very, like, Tommy is very good at articulating himself in terms of what he's talking about. But however, I just felt as though, hold on, I just felt like the movie should have had sections of the movie should have had sections of exactly what it is that he wanted to talk about. Like, for example, or like, I want you to organize your points next time. Like, for example, you're going to talk about feminism. You have a certain bullet points to hit, 1, 2, 3. Then you transition onto your next point, attack on masculinity. Harping on that, elaborate, 1, 2, 3, move on to the next point. Like, I'm not saying that Tommy didn't hit the nail on the head with the points he was making. I just wish that his points could have been more organized in an efficient way, to where he's not all over the place with a lot of the points that he was like. I just wish that he how do I say this? I just wish that he wasn't all over the place with the certain topics that he was talking about. Even though you're talking about things to make your point, I just wish the points that you were making were more organized. I'm not saying that he was all over the place with what he was saying. I'm just saying that his points, it were like with every point that he makes, it was a very quick transition. You're supposed to at least ease your way into the next point that you're about to make the transition more smoother, instead of making the transition more swift. Like, for example, if you're reading a book, right? They have chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, right? Like, my thing is with the like when you're reading a book, like, you can't just read chapter 1, then go to chapter 5, then go back to chapter 1, then chapter 2 again. Like, that's the thing. Yeah, like, I just wish that the points that he was making that was really good, I wish the points were more organized and structured, so that way it won't feel like you're only scratching the surface of what is being discussed.